All right. That's dead. It's live. All right. Da, 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 da. Okay. So, there we go. Q&A time. All right. So, on the agenda for today, and we have got so very much time, Q&A. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, now would be the good time to do so. Assuming this is working. I think it is. Oop, closed it. Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. And if we end up having extra time, I am more than happy to run through the Kahoot as well. I had a 24-question Kahoot for our last 3 units. It's not evenly balanced, but I did what I could. Yeah. Do I read my Rate My Prof? Only every day. I mean, why? Did someone say something bad? No, I have it on quick links, so no, it's fine. Nobody's added any. Still at 115. I don't know that for any particular reason. I mean, I look it over. I don't take it too seriously, to be honest. It's nice to have a perfect score on Rate My Prof, but I've had bad reviews on there as well, and sometimes it's like, class was kind of boring, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Not everything in life is exciting. I try, but I can't make everything in life exciting. Is there a class on Friday? It depends what we do today. If we get through the Kahoot, we'll have no class, and then obviously, at this point, it's totally optional. If we haven't, if there's so many questions that we didn't get through the Kahoot, then of course, we'll come back on Friday and we'll do that. Otherwise, the class is canceled. I have some fabulous chocolatey prizes, but I had Skittles and I decided to eat them on the way over. Okay. Yeah, I can post review slides. I have them. I just forgot to actually upload them. That's racist. No, I'm kidding. Isn't white chocolate just butter with vanilla in it? I don't know. It's best not to linger on this thought for too long. Okay. You are butter, my friend. All right, what's an example of middle class wasps? Okay. Let's think here. All right, so when we talk about so this is from race and ethnicity, right? So this would be, people who are socioeconomically middle class, but who are also, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, right? So, I mean, you would have your really wealthy, rich English people that are all Protestants, and below that, right, slightly less rich white people who are also Protestants and probably English, English or Scottish, right? Of that kind of origin. What is an example? Okay, that's an example. Yes, family, ethnicity, race, ethnicity, family, religion. So pretty compact set of topics. Should we know the different religious demographics in Canada's provinces, the overall trend in the changing religious affiliations? I mean, it won't be that specific, right? It won't be, I'm not going to be like, what happened to Catholics? Nyahaha. What were the numbers exactly? How many millions of people did Catholics lose? No, it's not going to be anything like that. Just be aware of kind of the trends, right? A decline in religion and a growth in nothing in particular. And that's probably, and know what, none or nothing in particular, religiously unaffiliated kind of means. Okay. Is there going to be a practice test on E-class for the final material like the midterm? Yes, I just haven't had a chance to make it yet. But as soon as I do, I will post it. It's on my to-do list. But my to-do list is long and tedious and long and tedious. So it's just like, 10th in the queue right now. I have some stuff I need to finish marking before the end of the term and some emails I need to answer and exams I need to write. Okay, am I going to post a review pack? I think you mean like the slides with like my recording. Excuse me, a sneeze. A sneeze wishes to come. I'm okay. If I die, tell my wife I love her. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, so I'll post review slides. Again, it's like 11th on my list of things to do. Do the spiritual nuns believe more in God or just some mystical elements of the world? Yes. It's really mixed. Like the nuns are a very mixed and very confusing group. Some of them are atheists, so they don't believe in anything. Some of them are agnostic, so they're just like, I don't know. Not enough information. Some of them are, spiritual but not religious. You know what? Come take sociology of religion to answer this question. I spent like 2 weeks on this. It's a really mixed bag, and there's no consistency. Okay. How many questions on the final approximately? For everyone else, 45, because you asked this question 1,000. No, I'm kidding. It's 45. All right. Do Arabs fall under most new immigrants? I would, in that same hierarchy. Like are you talking about the pyramid of like immigrants? I'm a little bit unclear on the context, but I mean, it would be Arabs would fall under like anything probably considered sort of non-white. If I'm thinking of that triangular pyramid. But I'm not, I think that's what you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. Can I give another example of symbolic ethnicity? Okay, right. You have your friend, and technically their parents were Croatian, but being Croatian means nothing to them, except at certain times of the year, right, when they might break out, some traditional Croatian clothing and cook some, like at Christmas, cook traditional Croatian food. And then it's like, but it doesn't affect their normal everyday life, right? Maybe they have some, I don't know if there's Croatian dancing, but who knows? They show up for the Croatian pavilion at Heritage Days, but most of the time, it doesn't impact their life. Like the ethnicity is only symbolic, but most of the time, especially this mostly applies to whites, it doesn't impact their life in a very consistent or daily way. Okay. Hopefully that works. Yeah, I guess Arabs would fall under most new immigrants. I mean, if you're talking about, prior to the 1970s, there weren't a lot of Arab immigrants to Canada. So they'd be kind of lumped in there, but it just hasn't been until very recently a big source of immigration for Canada, the Arab world. So they wouldn't have yes, they would have put them under most new immigrants, but I cleared something I didn't mean to. All that fun stuff. Okay, when am I opening seats for 377, and do I think it's easy? It's not unbelievably easy. I don't know. It usually ends up with an average somewhere between 76 and 82. So it's kind of on par with a lot of sociology classes. When am I opening the seats? There's a lot of things that are going on. I'm talking to the department about it. We have to check the room capacity, which I think that room is close to capacity, so it limits how many seats. And it's like, before we open the seats, do we have to move it to a different room, which means we have to go talk to a different department. It can take a little while, which is why I've started on it now. I'm working on it though. It's on my to-do list. It's number 4. Okay. Once you're done SOS 100, are you allowed to take SOS 225? I think you were allowed to take it before you took SOS 100, but you know what? Go look at Bear Tracks. They'll tell you the prereqs. I am not an encyclopedia. What is an encyclopedia again? Right, a bunch of books. I don't know all of the requirements, but I thought 225 had no requirement for SOS 100. Okay, those good questions. Is there an acronym for people who don't follow a religion, or is it just categorized as none? I mean, okay, a bunch of different terms are used. It depends whose surveys you're looking at. None has become really popular. Nothing in particular. No religion, but there's not like an acronym. I should make one up, and then I could become famous and patent it, and it'd be great. But no, it's just usually people just talk about the nuns or no religion or the religiously unaffiliated. That's the terms that are typically used. Okay, what is critical race theory? A better question is, why is critical race? No, I'm kidding. Critical race theory is a particular school of thought about race. It comes out of law school, specifically out of Harvard. And it basically is a sort of Marxist or conflict theory take on race. And ultimately, right, it looks at, white people as oppressors and people of color as oppressed, especially black people. And I'm trying to think. What else? I mean, amongst other things, like Daniel Bell, who's one of the sort of founders of critical race theory, will suggest that any kind of inequalities that you see in society that are particularly distributed along racial lines, so poverty, poor access to education, are fundamentally because of racism and oppression, and that the only way to remediate them is to dismantle systems of whiteness and racism and sometimes reverse discrimination. Or that's not the term Daniel Bell uses. I'm just being quick in my thinking here. Something like that, right? That basically you have to, the only, this is Abraham X. Kendi, but it's, the only remedy to past discrimination is future discrimination. So that would be, sort of how it goes. That's critical race theory in a nutshell. All right. How is pluralism less tolerant than assimilation? Well, once people are assimilated, they're all the same, right? If you assimilate everybody into sort of an American identity, say in the US, where you get your melting pot metaphor, and everybody is just American, and all, no one cares about any other characteristics, everybody's going to be tolerant of each other because they're all the same, right? So you have total tolerance. Pluralism is still really tolerant, but there's still differences, right? So it's going to be, and people are going to recognize their differences, see differences, so it's a little bit less tolerant on that kind of very, very blunt kind of scale. Okay. I don't know why it does that, and I don't like it. All right. Yeah, okay, no prereq for 225, so yeah, you can take it whenever. It's fun, it's nice. I don't know who's teaching it next term. I'm not, but aside from that, I have no idea. I think Brian Hogeveen, he's probably good. Okay, what should you know about Durkheim's views on religion? Things moved. Okay, sorry, now I have to do them in order. Is the final only content after midterm 2 for the 100 millionth time? Yes. Please stop asking this question. Okay, what should you know about Durkheim's views on religion? Okay, I mean, very simply, right, he thinks that it is good for social cohesion. It creates shared moral values and norms, right? Because everybody, if they share the same religion, will have the same values and norms. They'll think all the same things are right and wrong. It creates collective experiences. It reaffirms, those values and norms through shared rituals, right, that people practice together, that reaffirms their worldview. Boom. Durkheim in a nutshell. Important for social cohesion. That's the key one. Do I think I'll still be teaching sociology of youth next year, or should you rush for next term? I don't know who else they're going to get to teach the class, if not me. I'm the only one who's taught it for 10 years, basically. I mean, I think one summer a grad student taught it. But aside from that, I'm pretty much the only one who's taught it. So as long as I'm here, if I don't get fired, which I wasn't planning on it, but you never know. If I'm here, I'll be teaching it. So, yeah, I'm here until I die probably at this point. So my plan is just to you stay here so long that nobody knows that there was a time before Jeff, and then When you become part of the furniture, your job is safe, right? Okay. Is there a better definition of profane and sacred? No. One of the irritating things about Durkheim's work on religion is that he does a really crap job of defining sacred and profane. Oh, that is a horrifying thought. Basically, yeah, the sacred is all things that have to do with the transcendent, and the profane is all things that have to do with those things that aren't sacred, so the everyday worldly things. But no, yeah, that's unfortunately Durkheim didn't provide us with great things. Teaches a Force ghost. Would I have to hang out with Hayden Christensen? Because that's a horrifying thought in and of itself. Or Ray. I guess Ray's not a Force ghost yet, but that sounds bad. I don't like Ray. Oh, you're here till the chairs take over. Yep. And when the chairs get loaded with AI and decide to kill us all, that's the day. All right. At least the chairs in this room are comfy, though. All right. Have we hit the joking stage? You have to speak like Yoda too. Should I attempt it? No. Speak like Yoda, I must. Lectures interesting would be. Okay, I don't plan. All right, I think we've run out of questions. So do we want to do the Kahoot and call? It's not Kermit the Frog. It's Jordan Peterson. There's a subtle difference. Solzhenitsyn, cultural Marxism, Ben Shapiro. There you go. You've clean your room. That's my Jordan Peterson. That's all I know. Functionalism's. Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't even know if I talked about that. Hang on. Can I do a Ben Shapiro expression? I can talk really fast. No, I don't plan to go back to Enterprise Rent-A-Car anytime soon. Isn't cultural Marxism the Nazi concept of postmodernist Marxism, the Jordan Peterson one? Yes, that's absolutely it. And Jordan Peterson. Sorry. What did I say? Ben's got talent. All right, I did a Ben Shapiro. This is you get the professor who's up on like pop culture and podcasts. Okay, all right. Functionalist approach to race and ethnicity. Generally, functionalists would probably approach kind of racial and ethnic divisions as functional for people, right? Especially in terms of personal identity, that they give people something, right? That identifying in a racial or ethnic way helps people, create communities, foster kind of common commitments, view themselves as part of a community, especially one that shares, history, morals, values, religions, and all of these sorts of things. That's a kind of general functionalist approach. Obviously, functionalists, I think, would also acknowledge that a lot of these divisions cause more kind of social harms and are actually, dysfunctional in their orientations, right? Where, really strong racial and ethnic divisions like slavery and segregation are functional. I don't know what to do with that one. I don't give life advice. But yeah, that there are some kind of, that race and ethnicity, and especially when they create division, can be signs of a kind of social dysfunction around these questions of identity too. Oh, isn't that a red pill? I don't know. Like, is it a red flag that if my boyfriend watches Jordan Peterson? No, it means he's really smart and is totally going to clean his room. I don't know. All right, enough. Any other questions? The flags. I love this shirt. That's funny. That's a good one. Okay. How about we do it for time here? Oh, so good. All right. I got a short Kahoot. Do we want to do the short Kahoot? And we'll cancel class on Friday and you can all be free. The flags are rich. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a good joke. That was a pretty good joke. You guys are clever. I like it. Oh. Is the final online? It's on eClass, but you have to come to class because otherwise. Well, if we get through I have nothing else to do. You want to come? I can come hang out. We can have coffee or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll cancel Friday's class. Why not? Like, we're done, right? The Kahoot should I do in voice of Yoda? Oh, my impressions. They're so bad. All right. The final is on E-class, the final is. But the password to get you must come. Now I've confused people. It all is on E-class, but you have to come to get the password, just like every other exam, unless you have accommodations. So, all right. Yes. Okay. Now can I get this to work? Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Hang on, I just have to try and switch this over really quickly. My window capture. I know, I'll be right back. Don't worry. It won't start without you. Yes. Success. There we go. Oh, you guys are all, you're funny. Oh, I think I turned autoplay on, so it's going to start in 15 seconds. Better hurry up. Oh no, it resets every time someone joins. We could be here a while. Can I just hit the start button? Or is it blocked out? Alright, people need... I've created a monster. People need to stop joining. All right, what do we got? All right, which philosophies form the basis of the idea that marriage should be based on romantic love? Is it liberalism and individualism, conservatism and familialism, communism and egalitarianism, or traditionalism and collectivism? All right, right. So it's liberalism and individualism. Liberalism and individualism. All right, because you choose who you love. According to Professor Broussard, Weber's idea of the Protestant ethic is outdated. Is it wrong? A major breakthrough, or still an issue? Sometimes I do put this one on the exam because it's funny. Protestant ethic and the spirit of capitalism is wrong, 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 wrong. Oh, all right. Your mom. Terrible. You're terrible. A necessary factor in causing religiosity is it personal reflection, socialization, daily prayer, or peer pressure? Hey man, do you want some Jesus? I don't know. Peer pressure. I'm like channeling all the bad anti-drug commercials from the 1990s. Yeah, it's not peer pressure. I'm sorry. I sent you on the wrong platform. It's socialization, right? You need to learn it from someone. What do we call together living together as a couple without being legally married? All right, cohabitation. That was easy. So, alternative marriage. Coexistence. No, coexistence. All right. Why is Gomorrah? Okay. Helena speaks Ukrainian, makes pierogies, and married in a Ukrainian church. She is part of, is she a racial group, an ethnic group, a majority group, or a power elite? Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Right, an ethnic group. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Right. A power elite. I mean, Ukrainians are pretty powerful, I guess. I'm winning. I'm not even playing. What term describes a sexual encounter that is spontaneous and unlikely to happen again? Is it a makeout session, a hookup Friday night, or sexual assault? Oh, that question will definitely not be on the midterm or on the final. Aw, assault. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a hookup. Oh, sorry, Friday night made me laugh. Sometimes I make myself laugh, which is always the most awkward. What would Ben Shapiro say about me? How did Durkheim refer to the supernatural elements of religion? Is it as ritualistic, as sacred, as profane, as the collective effervescence? Right, it is the sacred. I can't tab forward. Tad. The profane would be the opposite. Distressing. Okay. Ooh, cohabitation is replacing marriage in which of the following provinces? Is it Ontario, Alberta, British Columbia, or La Belle Provence? Quebec. It is Quebec. It's been happening faster in Quebec than anywhere else. All right. I'm so done. A church changing its music to attract more young people is an example of... Is it community affiliation model of religion, the secularization thesis, the revised secularization thesis, or is it the market theory of religion? Market theory, right? They're trying to appeal to consumers, right? So different brand of religion. All right. Oh, this denotes a bureaucratic religious organization that is accepted within society. And this is market theory, right? A new religious movement, a church, a sect, or a denomination. Who gets along with society? Two of them definitely don't. One of them kind of does, and one of them definitely does. I am not checking my email. I'm checking my email. It's a church, right? A denomination is the second best guess, but not the best guess. All right. Oh, Romans. I have a lot of religion questions on this one for some reason. Roman Catholicism in Canada, Judaism in Israel, and Hinduism in India are all examples of, is it an ecclesia, a church, a sect, or a cult? Ugh. Same answer as last time. It's a church. Doesn't matter. I can give the answer to the last few people coming in. They don't get as many points because they were slow. Right. These are all established religions in these countries. All right. Me and my mom are neck and neck. How strange. The situation where people engage in group public worship in a prescribed and orderly manner. Is it a ritual, effervescence, false consciousness, or social solidarity? Of course it's a ritual. Social solidarity is not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad. All right. Which Canadian would be able to choose his race and ethnicity the most easily and successfully? Is it Peter, a 30-year-old Métis construction worker, Conan, a 20-year-old Scottish hairstylist, Robert, a 35-year-old Jamaican lawyer, or Young-hwa, a 25-year-old Korean student? Ooh, who gets to define their ethnicity most easily? Aye, it's Conan. That's a terrible Scottish accent. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, what happened with regards to fertility in Canada in the late 1950s? It peaked, it increased, it dropped, or it stabilized? Late 1950s. Yes, it peaked, right? So this is the very height of the baby boom, the highest fertility we've had in the late 1950s, after which it goes down, down, down. Until we get to Gen Z, and there's like 12 of you. This view states that religious institutions and consciousness are declining in society. Is this the rationalization thesis, the profanity thesis? That's a very different thesis. The opium view, or the secularization thesis? Sometimes all the creativity just gets drained by other things, and you come up with really stupid answers. Right, this is the secularization thesis. Good job. Like the opium view. What happens to me on a Friday night? No, I'm kidding. What is polygamy? A form of marriage involving more than two spouses. Marriage between two people who are related by blood. A form of marriage where wives have more power than husbands. Or a village is considered a parent to every child. I think that's called Hillary Clinton. But whatever. She wrote a book called It Takes a Village, for which she's been roundly mocked. I roundly mock her for losing to Donald Trump. I don't even know how that's possible. Which sociology wrote The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism? Was it Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, Uncle Carl, my buddy Karl Marx, or Talcott Parsons, who we've talked about like one time since the beginning of the class? It's not. Yeah, that's Weber. Weber, Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. All right, I'm winning. I get all the chocolate. Okay. Which one is not one of the three B's of religiosity? Is it behavior, belief, belonging, or benevolence? Ow. Snap. I'm going to miss walking all the way across campus to this room. Right, you got it. Benevolence is not something we talked about. This room is not far away at all. What is the main difference between race and ethnicity? Ethnicity is cultural, race is physical attributes. People can be multiracial, but they can't be multi-ethnic. Racial categories are more scientifically determined, and race is culture, ethnicity is physical attributes. Right. Ethnicity is cultural, race is... You got it. I don't even need to explain. Stop it. What did Durkheim believe was the central function of religion? Was it to reinforce social solidarity, to create a collective unconsciousness, to ritualize the profane, or to manifest the collective unconscious? Sounds like something the Borg would do. Sounds Swedish. All right, yes, to reinforce social solidarity. It's not that I want to make this end faster or anything. What is the only thing necessary to file for a divorce following the 1985 Divorce Act? Is it sexual deviance, gross addiction, marital breakdown, or abandonment? All right, marital breakdown, right? That's all you need to say. We're not getting along anymore. So long, farewell. Which theorist believed that religion was the opiate of the masses? Was it Thomas Hobbes, Emil Durkheim, Max Weber, or Karl Marx? Uncle Carl with your fabulous beard and your horrifying ideas. Yes, it was Uncle Carl, my good buddy. All right. All right. How did Durkheim refer to the everyday world? I really did have a lot of religion questions. All right. Is it collective effervescence or as ritualistic, as sacred, or as profane? All right. I'm just waiting for the last one to click in. Click. Yes, everything that's not sacred is profane. And I think this is our very last question. Judging a person based on preconceived ideas about the group that person belongs to, is it called prejudice, discrimination, scapegoating, or racism? Come on, click that button a little faster. It is prejudice. Why is it not discrimination? Because discrimination has to have an active component. Just like, yeah, judging people is not an active component. All right, there's our winners. Ta-da. What? No, stop. Do not play again. Stop. Cancel. No. Make it stop. End. I don't want to do this again. All right. Just a reminder, if you want a paper copy of the final, do email me to let me know so I can print out some copies of it. And we will see you on the exam day. And if you want a prize, come get a prize. Not my half-eaten pack of Skittles, though. That's mine.
So I have a question.
Okay, I'm going to turn off my microphone. Go ahead.
So because there were like way more questions on religion for the Kahoot, is it going to be like that in the final?
No, I just did. It'll be more equally balanced. I just didn't do a good job of balancing them in my Kahoot question bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no class on Friday?
No class on Friday.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you for the sociology classes. I enjoyed it.
You're very welcome.
I'm here for my prize.
Very well.
Call me Jeffy B, the way I'm on top.
All right.
I have a question about the Kahoot. That one question where it was which one is more likely to
Scottish, yeah.
Why is that? And like, how do you?
So he's white, right? So all the other ones, Métis, probably person of color. I think Jamaican was one, and then one of them was Asian, right? So they all have more visible characteristics that would make it much harder for them to choose that ethnicity, right? Whereas he's white, so he could, I'm just Canadian, or.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hello.
I have a question. So I wasn't here last time because I was sick, but are we doing education and mass media communication?
We dropped. We just ran out of time.
Oh. Okay.
We just ran out of time.
Okay.
So it's just gonna
I was
be.
really confused when I came in. I'm like, are we doing education?
We were just out of time. So I was like, I could have tried to like jam one more unit in, but I was like, I think we're all done, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah. See you at the exam, where you'll probably be thanking me less.
For that one Kahoot question where it was like, Roman Catholicism in Canada, Judaism in Israel.
Yeah.
Can religious monopoly also work for that question or no?
I mean, Catholicism isn't really a monopoly in Canada,
Okay.
right? Like, it wouldn't make sense because there's lots of other churches, right, and lots of other religions.
Judaism in Israel.
What's that?
Judaism in Israel.
Yeah. So they're all just kind of like
Churches.
I know it's confusing because
Yeah.
but it's not, like I said in that lecture. It's like it's a weird kind of clunky term, but think more. They're all well accommodated with the society, right? So they're highly institutionalized, bureaucratic, and they're like well accepted in the society, and they accept the society for the most part, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
you won't put something like that, like where I'm like, which one is it? Like for the religious monopoly, like it'll be clear.
It should be pretty clear, yeah.
Okay.
I'll try. I mean, sometimes when I'm picking the questions out of the question banks, occasionally I choose a stinker, but I try not to.
Okay. There was one more that I had a question about, but I forgot. It's okay.
You can look it over and email me about it because
Okay.
I'll post it online.
Yeah, and
so.
I also want a paper copy, so I'll email you about
Yeah,
that too.
perfect.
Yeah, I want to thank you for this class. It was
you're very welcome.
amazing. Gonna put a good review on Rate My Prof.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
you so much.
Oh, you have a good afternoon. Hi.
There was a question about like the sort of like collective things that people do together in a religion, and I was just wondering, so is effervescence like the emotional?
Yeah,
aspect
it's that what you experience during a kind of religious ritual, right? Or you all feel the same stuff and it elevates your, yeah, I mean, in theory, I think you could say you also get that at a Taylor Swift concert, right? Or maybe you don't like Taylor Swift, but if you do, right? Or whatever, you go see your favorite band and everybody's like, yeah, then you also would kind of get that feeling, which is, I think, why Durkheim doesn't think anything in particular spiritual is happening there. It's just like, yeah, you're all in a social space experiencing a psychological effect.
That's definitely how I feel. Like, you see those videos of the pictures, like removing the devil from someone, and they're just like shaking on the ground.
I don't even know how much of that is maybe not pre-scripted. Anyway, yeah, Pentecostals mess my mind up because like they really seem to be having real experiences, and I just don't know what's happening.
Maybe they're all in on it.
Maybe they're all in on it. It's possible. Who knows? I mean, I've been to Pentecostal worship services and somebody starts speaking in tongues and I'm like, cool. I am going to leave now. I'm not prepared for whatever is happening right now. Also, the fact that it was my friend who took me was like, yeah, the service could be like 20 minutes. It could be like 4 hours. It just kind of really depends on what the Spirit's doing. And I'm like, that is a very vague time slot. So it was actually much closer to 4 hours and got a little excruciating towards the end. It was just like, I still don't know what's happening. There's still people like yelling, Amen, Hallelujah. I think the person on the stage is the pastor. He's been talking for a really long time. Not going to lie, I don't think any of it makes all that much sense. But it just keeps going and going, and like the band keeps playing. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. Some life experiences that you can have when you tag along with people, right?
If you won a lottery in French, what would you do with the money?
If I won the lottery,
Yeah.
what would I do with the money? In French? How much money are we talking about?
We decided $30 million.
$30 million. Yeah, I'd probably quit my job, like move somewhere, like Nice maybe, or
That's a good.
I think probably Nice, or Cannes maybe. That sounds like a nice place. Maybe
10 minutes to finish.
Yeah, or maybe like Spain, like southern Spain. That sounds pretty great. Or Cinque Terre in Italy. I could live on the Mediterranean. That doesn't sound terrible. I mean, $30 million is a lot of money. Sometimes people are like, what if you won $1 million? I'm like, well, that's actually not a lot of money when you think about it.
With $30 million, you might be able to buy a house here.
Here for certain. Toronto, not so sure. Vancouver, definitely not. Go live on East Hastings. Yeah, man, I'm glad I already own my house. I already have part of it paid for because I do not envy Gen Z trying to come into this housing market. And
Our housing market is going to be with my parents, so
die, you old bastards, die! I need to inherit this place.
my parents are like very large co-housing.
Yeah, I know. One of my bosses was just talking about how him and his son